Hi class, this is English lesson 124. I hope you've come with your English binders. Let's open up to our jingles. Maybe you've got these memorized. If you think you've got them memorized, you could keep your binders closed and see how well you do. We're going to start with our adjective jingle. Are you ready? An adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun. An adjective asks, what kind? Which one? How many? To find an adjective, go. Ask, get. Where do I go? To the noun or the pronoun. What do I ask? What kind? Which one? How many? What do I get? An adjective. That's what. Now the article adjectives. We are the article adjectives, teeny tiny adjectives, a and the, a and the. Those are also adjectives, but they're teeny tiny special adjectives. Now let's do our adverb jingle. You learned this yesterday, so you might need to open up your binder to it. An adverb modifies a noun. No. An adverb modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. An adverb asks how, when, where. To find an adverb, go. Ask, get. Where do I go? To the verb, adjective, or another adverb. What do I ask? How, when, where. What do I get? An adverb. That's what. I hope you have these memorized. If not, you need to be practicing them every day, several times a day, until you have them down. I put them in a chart form here to help us see the differences. Let's try chanting these jingles again, just the adjective and the adverb. We'll leave out the article one, and see the differences. Let's start with adjective. An adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun. An adjective asks, what kind? Which one? How many? To find an adjective, go. Ask, get. Where do I go? To the noun or the pronoun. What do I ask? What kind? Which one? How many? What do I get? An adjective. That's what. Now let's try the adverb one and see how it's different. An adverb modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. An adverb asks how, when, where. To find an adverb, go, ask, get. Where do I go? To the verb, adjective, or another adverb. What do I ask? How, when, where. What do I get? An adverb. That's what. Let's see if we can tell the difference between adjectives and adverbs. Remember, they're going to answer completely different questions. So think about those questions when you're trying to decide. In this sentence, her new folder is on the desk. We've circled this descriptive word. It's either an adjective or an adverb. So let's think about this. What word does new describe? A new what? A new folder. Is folder a noun or a verb? It's a noun, it's a thing. So this has to be an adjective. Another way you could do this is look at new and see what question it answers. Is it answering how? New. Is it answering when? New. Is it answering where? No. Is it answering what kind? Yes. What kind of folder? It's a new folder. So if it answers one of these questions, it's another way to figure out it's an adjective. Let's try another one. In this sentence, we're looking to find out what this word is. It's either an adjective or an adverb. Yesterday. Eli bought it yesterday at the store. What question is yesterday answering? Is it answering what kind, which one, how many? Is it answering how, when, or where? Yesterday. That tells us when something happened. Yesterday. So since it answers this question, it has to be an adverb. Look at this sentence. Chelsea's hair is purple. It is right now. So what is purple? Is purple an adjective or an adverb? Well, let's see. We can do it two different ways. First of all, what is it we're talking about? It's purple. What are we describing? Is Chelsea purple? No. Her hair is purple. Is hair a noun or a verb? It's a thing, so it has to be a noun. She's not herring. That would be a verb if she was herring. I don't know how to hair. Anyway, it's a noun. So therefore, purple has to be an adjective. But we can go about it another way too. We can ask, which question is it answering? Is it answering what kind? Which one? How many? Yes, it's answering what kind of hair? Purple. So it's an adjective. Let's try this sentence. The football team practiced hard. What question is hard answering here? Is it answering what kind? Is something hard like hardwood here? No. Is it answering which one? How many? Hard. Is it answering how? Yes, they practiced how? They practiced hard. That's answering the question how. So hard in this sentence has to be an adverb. This sentence says, the excited players listened to the coach. What is this? Is that an adverb or an adjective? Excited. What is that answering in this sentence? Is it answering what kind? What kind? Excited. Yes, what kind of players? Excited players. So this has to be an adjective. It could be another way you find this, though. I could say excited. Excited what? Excited players. What is players? Is players a noun or a verb? Well, it's a noun. It's a thing. It's a group of people, right? Person, place, or thing is noun. So since it's a noun being described, it has to be an adjective. Two different ways you can go about that. Try this one. Tiny was muddy after playing in the rain. What is muddy? Is it an adjective or an adverb? What's it answering? Is it answering what kind? Which one? How many? Yes, it's answering what kind, or you could be saying which one, the muddy tiny. It's describing tiny, and tiny is a noun. It's a person, place, or thing, a noun. It's also answering what kind. Both of those lead us to understand this is an adjective. Let's practice one more. This says, Kate and Audrey danced gracefully. What is gracefully? Well, what question is it answering? What kind? Gracefully. Which one? Gracefully. How many? Gracefully. How about how? Gracefully. Kate and Audrey danced how? Gracefully. That answers the adverb question. So gracefully has to be an adverb. You could also go about it the other way. You could say, what is gracefully describing? It's describing how they danced. And since danced is a verb, something they do, we know that gracefully has to be an adverb. There's another clue here too that we learned yesterday. Did you notice that gracefully ends in ly? And we learned that adverbs often do. So that's a whole other clue that makes you go towards adverb if it ends in ly. This one's a little bit different. In this sentence, there's one adverb and one adjective. Can you spot them? Let's see. I'm going to start with finding my subject and my verb because I know we're all really good at that. Let's do that together. Ramon sometimes eats 2 sandwiches for lunch. Who sometimes eats 2 sandwiches for lunch? Ramon. What is being said about Ramon? Ramon, what's he doing? Eats. So now I've found my subject and my verb. I know my subject's going to be a noun. Let's see if we can find some more nouns. Ramon is one. What's something else that's a person, place, or thing? Lunch is a thing. What else? Sandwiches are a thing. Now it's helpful to know this. I found all my nouns in the sentence, Ramon, sandwiches, and lunch. I found my verb, eats. So those things will help find the adverb and the adjective. To find the adjective, we go to our noun and ask, what kind, which one, how many? So let's go to our noun, Ramon. Is there anything in this sentence that tells us what kind of Ramon? Which Ramon? How many Ramones? No, so there's no adjective for Ramon. Let's try another noun. Sandwiches. What kind of sandwich? Doesn't tell us. Which sandwich? Doesn't tell us. How many sandwich? 2. That has to be an adjective. So this is my adjective right there. Boom, I found my adjective, but now I've got to find my adverb. How do I find my adverb? To find the adverb, go, ask, get. Where do I go? To the verb, adjective, or another adverb. So I've got my verb, and now what do I ask? I ask eats how, eats when, eats where. Do you find an answer to any of those? If you said eats when, you're right. When does he eat? Sometimes, right there. So that is my adverb. It answers when he eats. Let's try another. Read this sentence with me. Yesterday, his sandwich was big. What was big? Sandwich. What is being said about sandwich? Sandwich was. That's a linking verb, isn't it? There's no action. All right, now I need to see what is my nouns and my verb. I found my verb. Are there any other persons, places, or things in this sentence? You might be tempted to say his, but that's actually a possessive pronoun. Do you remember our possessive pronouns? My and our, his and her, its and their and your. His is describing the sandwich. It's telling whose. So it is not a noun. But let's look through here carefully. If this is my only noun and this is my only verb, it should be pretty easy to spot our adjective and adverb. Let's start with our noun and see if we can find the adjective. What kind of sandwich? Do you see a word in here that describes the sandwich? Don't say his. We already said that's possessive pronoun. What kind of sandwich? Big. It was a big sandwich. So there's my adjective. Now, let's go to our verb and find our adverb. Was how? Was when? When was it? It was yesterday. There is my adverb. So I found my adjective and I've found my adverb. Let's try another one. All right, let's see if we can find our subject and verb first. His kind sister quickly packs their lunches. Who quickly packs their lunches? Sister. That's my subject. What is being said about sister? Sister packs. There's my verb. Okay, are there any other nouns in this sentence? We've already got sister, our subject. We know she's a noun. Anything else in there that's a thing or a person? Remember, his is possessive, so it can't be his. Lunches. Lunches is another thing. Okay, and we already have our verb. So let's go find our adjective. Where do we go? To the noun or the pronoun. So I'm going to start with sister and ask, what kind of sister? A kind sister. That's right. Kind describes the sister. So kind is my adjective. Now I need to find my adverb. I go to the verb right here, packs, and I ask, packs how? How did she pack it? She packed it quickly. There is my adverb. Now I've got my adjective and adverb, and I'm done. Let's try this sentence. Ramon carefully pours hot soup into bowls. Let's read it again and ask our questions. Ramon carefully pours hot soup into bowls. Who carefully pours hot soup into bowls? Ramon. What is being said about Ramon? Ramon pours. Okay, so I found my verb. There's only one verb. Here's one noun. Are there any other person, places, or things? I can hear Willa saying, soup, Mrs. Huff, that's a thing. There's another one. Esther? I bet you could find it. What's the other thing in this sentence? I can hear her. I bet she's saying, bowls, that's a thing. So now I have all my nouns and I've got a verb. Let's find our adjective. I start by finding my noun. Here's a noun, and let's ask what kind of Ramon? Doesn't say. Which Ramon? Doesn't say. How many Ramones? Doesn't say. Let's go to another noun. Soup. What kind of soup? Hot. Hot soup. There's my adjective. Okay. Now I'm going to find my adverb. Remember, they've told us there's only one adjective and one adverb in every sentence. Otherwise, we could keep looking for more. But we've already found our one adjective. So here's our verb. I go to my verb and I ask, pours how? Carefully. And you might have spotted the ly on the end, which is a giveaway. That is an adverb. Let's try this one. The 3 kittens purr softly. Who purrs softly? Kittens. What is being said about kittens? Kittens purr. That's what they're doing. Are there any other nouns in this sentence? Any other persons, places, or things? Nope, that's it. So I have my noun and I have my verb. This is going to be pretty simple. Let's go to the noun and find our adjective. Kittens. What kind of kittens? Doesn't tell me. It doesn't describe the kittens at all. How about which kittens? Doesn't tell me. How about how many kittens? Ah, there are 3 kittens. There's my adjective. Now I'm going to go to my verb and ask, purr how? Softly. That tells me how they purred. And notice once again, we have ly at the end of our adverb. For today's lesson, you're going to be going to a quiz site, which you've used before, and you're going to be deciding if things are in the sentence are an adjective or an adverb. So you might want to write down this chart that we have been using to decide those things, or you can use your jingles to help you remember what questions to ask and where to go ask and get. Then there's a little game at the end for fun.